All right, well, it is a day before my 39th birthday. Don't worry, I'm not going to do 39 things that I learned. But I'm sitting here on the tailgate of my Jeep, and it's just one of those days where I'm spending time reflecting, just over our life, and just realizing as I go into year 39 of life, I really want to go into this next season with just full authenticity, vulnerability. I think that one of the things that we do as entrepreneurs that really hurts us is we try to put on a polished look like we have it all together. And also, we're not honest about the journey that it took to get there. Like, people get to see the polished, finished product of what we do, but they don't get to see the day in and day out. And I said to myself this year, okay, as I go into 39 years of life, what is the one thing that I could do in my life to really help other entrepreneurs? And I really felt like that what I felt in my heart was you got to be more honest and transparent about what it actually takes to be a six-figure, soon-to-be seven-figure entrepreneur. And I'm extremely blessed in the past 18 months to have built a business that has reached six figures. In our first year, guys, we did six figures. But I learned a heck of a lot of lessons that were necessary. I believe that the path of entrepreneurship is probably one of the most spiritually forming journeys that you could possibly take, because you have to actually believe in yourself. You have to actually believe in the solutions that you have for other people's problems. And you actually have to trust God to provide, because you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your wisdom, your knowledge, your solutions out there. And it's either going to make people's lives better, or it's not going to have any impact at all and fall flat. And your income is attached to the solutions that you provide as an entrepreneur. So it's been an interesting journey, because for me, since I was an adult, I only worked a 9-to-5 job, maybe a year of my life that I worked, not even a full year that I worked 9-to-5. My first job was at GameStop. I loved video games in high school. I basically played sports, hung out with my friends, and played video games. And so my first job was GameStop. Then I went from there, was a manager there, because I started at GameStop when I was 17. The day I turned 18, I became a third key manager at GameStop. And then after that, I went on to Circuit City, which some of you all don't even know what that is, but that was a company like Best Buy. It's already went out of business, but I sold home audio and TVs and was a part of their Fire Dog program, which meant I could install TVs and home audio into your house or your business or wherever. And so, yeah, that's one of my first jobs that I had. And then March came around, April of 2007, and I was launched into full-time ministry from that day forward and never looked back. So since 2007, I have lived off of the generosity of the people of our ministry and the people's lives that we had changed and touched. And so I was either an evangelist or a pastor in all of those years. And so we literally lived off the generosity of the saints. But then fast forward to 2022, I lost my salary. I was a pastor of a young church plant in Covington, Georgia. 2022, out of nowhere, we lost our salary. We were kicked out of a house that we thought was going to be given to us. And there we were with no salary, no home to live, and with a family of 6. My youngest daughter was, I think, maybe getting close to being 1 year old. And so there we were, moved into a little 1,200 square foot apartment in 2022, got back on our feet in 2023, and bought a property and a house that we absolutely loved in 2023. Fast forward 2 months later, I'm walking in my backyard and just loving the property, walking to the creek. And I heard the voice of the Lord say, "Mark, I want to talk to you about media and business." And I thought to myself, what in the world could I possibly do in media and business? This church that I have, it's a young church plant. We haven't really even begun. We're still just in the very foundational season of this church plant. And for 45 minutes, I couldn't get this idea out of my head. God wants to talk to me about media and business. And I finally, just after 45 minutes of not being able to get past that thought and get into prayer, I finally just threw up my hands and I said, Lord, if this is really you, then shut what I'm doing down. If like this is really you and what I'm doing is currently not it, then shut what I'm doing down and give me the new blueprints. And literally 7 days later, on my birthday, August 24th, 2023, there was a fire that broke out in Covington, Georgia, and it destroyed 7 businesses, including the church where we gathered. And 4 days after the smoke settled, I was in my backyard again, and the Lord said, so do you want to talk about media and business? And I thought to myself, well, yeah, probably should now, because it's pretty apparent that something's going on. You can't just make that stuff up. When you hear it, you don't fully understand it. But then when things happen, you realize, oh, wow, he's really serious about this. And so I went on this journey, didn't really know what to do. Like I had like people that spoke prophetically over my life that said I would have media influence. I've always had a passion for business and entrepreneurship and always championed that in the people that I pastored or led. And I was always preaching to encourage entrepreneurs and business people. If any of you followed my podcast or my ministry over the years, you know what it means to me to empower people to realize that we are the people who have been empowered by Yahweh to create wealth. So it's always been a big thing for me. But yeah, I didn't realize that after all those years, all the stuff that I had been saying and doing to encourage entrepreneurs and business owners was actually God equipping me to step into this space. And so I didn't really know what to do with it. I mean, obviously, I understood business to some degree, understood entrepreneurship because I had read so many books about it and helped lead so many entrepreneurs, but never really done something entrepreneurial myself. So this was new territory and didn't really know what to do. And so I remember like taking a drive. I told my wife, I've got to get to Mobile, Alabama, where my spiritual father lives, and just need to be in a service and worship and hear the word and pray that maybe God would speak to us in that service. And so worship came and went, and it was great. Message was strong. Got to the last part of the service, and I'm just waiting for God to like speak to me. Nothing happened. So I'm like walking out of the church going, okay, well, this is what I felt like I was supposed to do. And all of a sudden there's a woman that calls, I'm like walking out, and a woman calls to me, hey, Mark. And she motioned for me to come over. And I'd never had a conversation with this woman before. And she's very quiet in general. So I was like, wow, okay. And so my ears perked up, and I was like, I wonder what Cheryl wants to say. And so I walk over, and she said, I was really thinking about this. She was like, I really feel like you're supposed to reconnect with Rick Pino. And I was like, wow. I mean, honestly, I hadn't thought about Rick in a while, and hadn't been around Rick at that time for 8 years. And so he used to travel and lead worship, and we would end up doing conferences or being in the same place. He lead and worship, me preaching, and just being in the same facilities many times or in passing in ministry. So I wasn't sure what he was doing. So I went back to my hotel room that night, got on the computer, and I found out Rick Pino had taken a deep dive into entrepreneurship, which I guess he had been doing that for years, but he was in particularly talking about digital products. And I thought, man, this is interesting. Like, what is Rick doing in digital products? Long story short, I ended up watching a couple of videos that he had done, booked a call with his team. I didn't even have Rick's number anymore. And they share with me the opportunity. It made total sense. And then they dropped the bomb on me. It's going to be $10,000 to join Rick's program. I thought to myself, this is wild. We had just got back on our feet from losing our salary, just bought a house, and then our church burns down. I'm like, where in the world am I going to get $10,000? So I remember reaching into 3 different accounts, got everything together, called a friend, made the investment, and got on my first call, group coaching call, and was just like, what in the world? And Rick sees me on the call, ends up calling me and giving me his number. We talk, and the rest is history. I put all those systems in place, and we set up everything that I learned with Rick, and we were able to go from 0 to 30K in our first 90 days. And we were pretty much able to establish like a $10,000 a month digital product business right out the gate. And so that's what's led to everything that I'm doing now. But here's the deal. there's so many lessons that I could talk to you about, and I'm going to. There's so many things that I'd like to share with you. I'm going to, because I mean, listen, I've experienced everything from a viral video almost ruining my business to hiring people too soon, before I was ready, trying to depend on content rather than developing systems that could maintain my business. Like, man, I've done just as many things as that you don't want to do, that you could learn from, as I've done things that you would want to learn from. So I've got both, like the stories of, hey, do this, hey, don't do this. And so I really want to start making YouTube videos where I share here's my journey, here's what I did, this is what I learned. I would do this, I wouldn't do this, and just develop a deeper relationship with my audience here on YouTube. I want to go deeper. And I don't always want to bring to you just polished trainings where it's like, okay, I've learned this, we've got the results, here it is, you try it too. I really want to open up my heart and tell you what it actually takes to be a 6-figure, soon to be 7-figure entrepreneur. And the reality is, I live my life just like you all. I'm doing my best to obey God. I'm doing my best to be a great husband. I'm doing my best to be a good father. And now doing my best to have an incredible business that brings value to everybody that comes into what we're doing. But I'm living life just like you all. We're now living here in Mobile, Alabama. Got an amazing church family that we're connected to. I love being close to my spiritual father and just being able to sit under his ministry and play whatever supporting role I can for him and just be a faithful son to him. And, we're spoiled with some of the greatest worship atmosphere and environment probably anywhere in the country. So I'm really thankful for that. But it's like we're in a whole new thing. Like, we thought we would live in Covington, Georgia forever. We thought we would live on the property we have in Georgia forever. And we still own that property. So like, again, people see our lives and they think, well, look at how great everything's going. And things are going well. Like, I have an amazing marriage. I have an amazing relationship with my kids. But like, we still haven't sold our property in Covington, Georgia. So we're paying for that. We're living in a rental house here in Mobile, Alabama. It's a nice home. I'm really thankful for it. It's perfect for what we're doing. But I mean, it still comes with its challenges. I have to get up every day and make decisions just like you. But I've made a decision that I'm going to fully step into entrepreneurship. I totally am stepping out on faith and believe in Deuteronomy 8:18, which it says, it is God. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to create wealth that he might establish his covenant. So I'm taking a risk on God. I'm taking a risk on what he's spoken. I'm taking a risk on myself and believing that the value God has placed in me, the wisdom, the knowledge, and the experience that I have is enough to change and transform lives. And we've already helped over 100 digital entrepreneurs start their own real digital product businesses that are making money for them and helping change their life. And more than just money, I'm helping people see the value of themselves and become a solution to other people's problems. And in that, we're making the world a better place. So I'm looking forward to sharing this journey with you, just raw, honest, being vulnerable, unedited. It is what it is. So call it a vlog, call it a tailgate talk, whatever you want to call it. But we're here and I want to share this journey with you. So for year 39 of Mark Casto's life, I want to live in that vulnerability, transparency, remove any kind of polish or making it look a certain way and say, here's the reality of life and what we're doing, what we're working on, where we're at in life, and how the business is doing. And honestly, August of 2025, I'm in one of those places right now where we're totally trusting the Lord. July 2025, we had a $40,000 month. Step into August, 0 sales. It's unbelievable. What's crazy though is in my 40K month, I believe that we were supposed to take another big step and make another big investment to take our business to the next place. And so I took money that could have been used for right now to help us get through this month, not knowing that there wouldn't be any sales. And I could have put it, into our life and to make sure we can pay our bills and do all the things. And here I am. a six-figure. We've been doing $30,000 months, $20,000 months, $40,000 months. But I took pretty much everything in the bank account and invested it into coaching. Some people would say, that's crazy. Why would you do that? Because by definition, I believe entrepreneurship is risk-taking. And so I'm making an investment in myself. And even though it's a hard month and I don't know where money's coming from and I don't know how we pay the bills like we're supposed to. How do I pay the team and staff that I have now? I'm not sure, but I know that I'm making an investment this month that comes September, October, November, my business will never be the same. So entrepreneurship is not like you take a risk once and then everything's good. Like you're constantly taking risk. You're constantly stepping out into new territory. But this is what I love about entrepreneurship. It requires me to fully trust God. It requires me to believe in myself. And it requires me to wake up every day and try to make people's lives better and teach them everything that I know to watch them prosper. And I just know this, if the journey of entrepreneurship, it's like, I think I have an idea, and maybe I'll share with you one day, like where the destination is that I want to go. But I'll be honest with you, like right now, it's not about the destination. For me, it's about the man that I'm becoming as I take the journey. I have confidence that I haven't felt in years. I have joy that comes from helping people that I haven't felt in a long time. Watching what I'm doing change other people's lives is a big deal. And so I'm becoming a man of greater confidence and courage. I'm learning to be more present as a husband and a dad. I'm learning how to deal with different types of people, to encourage other people, to walk in patience with other people. Like I am growing exponentially as an entrepreneur, and I'm thankful. And for those of you that are like, does Mark, still preach or do you do ministry? Yes, absolutely. I just don't advertise it. I still go and preach different churches, and open to traveling and preaching when I feel like it's the right fit and I can actually help that congregation. I have no desire to burn up the roads and do itinerant ministry and try to build my ministry by traveling and becoming known. I did that for 10 years, traveling and preaching and going through every little door that would open. That's not really my heart. I really want to bring strength and encouragement to the covenant relationships that I have with people across the country and relationships that I'm developing. So I'm thankful for that, but I'm still preaching and still love Jesus and still part of the local church and believe in the local church and building new relationships. And maybe one day I'll talk about Covington in a little more detail. That was a very tough situation, something that I believe that I'm past. Like I've had to deal with it and grieve it and deal with the emotions of transition and things not working out the way that I thought that it would. But that's for another episode. We'll talk about that too. But for those of you that want to take the journey with me, and see the process, see what it takes, and share honestly about what it means to become an entrepreneur, you're going to love these vlogs because this is me sharing my life in a way that I've never done before. So again, I don't know, we're going to call this Tailgate Talks. Probably won't do this again. I'm sweating like crazy. I live down here in Mobile, Alabama, so it's just hot right now. But this is where I wanted to begin, and I'm turn 39 years old tomorrow. And I just want to bring you into year 39 and show you a little behind the scenes of what it means to trust God, believe in yourself, offer solutions to other people's problems, what works, what didn't work, share with you the good, the bad, the ugly. There's my son. He's coming out. He didn't know I was recording. But I appreciate you guys. If you're subscribing, if you've watched this video, if you've watched this far, I just want to thank you. And pray that my life will be encouragement, strength, and help for you in the future. And if you're listening to this by way of podcast, even better. This is a new format. I'm going to upload this on YouTube and on our podcast, raw, real, just the way it is. So God bless you guys. Hope you have a great day.